Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, A Little Geek, A Little Chic. Today, got my mic in hand, wearing a Christmas sweater, and I have my cup of cheer. So, grab yourself your beverage of choice, and let's do a book haul. Okay friends, as you can see I'm starting to decorate for Christmas. That's what's behind me is all this Christmas stuff, and I am very excited. I am a little bit behind this year. Let's put this down here. I don't want to get fake snow all over it. I was away like a week ago, and I was in Toronto for the Eras tour, which was crazy and phenomenal, and I had a great time. But now we have to get into Christmas. And in order for me to finish decorating, I need to do a book haul so I can shelve all this stuff, because I've been like keeping this stuff that I've gotten during the fall to show you guys. And I'm looking at these stacks, and we need to just get into it. So let's just do that. I am going to, first I'm going to clip this on here. So might be a little scratchy for a second. And we're going to, or not, and we're going to get through these books so I can go finish doing Christmas cookies, and then I can watch some football. So, these won't be in any particular order. We'll just go based on the stack. The first book I have here is Christmas related. I got it at a book sale when I was out with a bookshelf bunny here on YouTube, my friend and coworker, and it's a worst case scenario. It's so hard to see because it's very foily. But it's worst case scenario, survival handbook for the holidays. And it's just quirky, funny things like how to treat a tongue stuck to a pole with like instruction manual. It's like a guidebook for Christmas and surviving the holidays. So it's pretty entertaining. One of them, how to make an emergency angel out of a paper plate. So that's fun. Got that at the book sale. Saw it. It was quirky. I got it, and I'm adding it to my little Christmassy reads for fun. Probably put it downstairs on my table, to be honest, so that I can just pick it up and read here and there. The next book I got, I think it was from McNally Robinson, which is like a local indie box type store. They say it's an independent bookseller, but there's like McNally Robinson in the States, and in New York there's McNally Jackson. So I think they're affiliated somehow, but not, they're also individual, if that makes any sense. But it's a book I've been hearing a lot about, and it's called Big Swiss. And now it's about this person who does like transcribing therapy sessions for this therapist, and everybody's names are obviously a code name so that this person doesn't know the names of the actual patients, etc. And so this patient's name that she is transcribing is Big Swiss. Now she listens to the recordings and types out the transcribes the therapy sessions. This person who transcribes is becoming infatuated with said Big Swiss, who is being treated for like a sex addiction, I think, or something like that. And randomly they run into each other, and the transcriber knows it's Big Swiss because of the voice, and follows this person around. So that had me. Apparently it's funny. Apparently it's interesting. That had me. I was ready to see what it was about. Next is a sequel book to a book I read this summer. I read 1,000 Boy Kisses, and the second book, 1,000 Broken Pieces, came out by Tilly Cole. I believe it follows the sister and the brother of the two main characters in the first book. So, I'm excited to see what this is about. Hopefully this one doesn't break me, but I feel like it might. And I hope it's as good as the first one. The first one was a lot. It was very heavy, but it was a very good read. Dealt with loss and terminal illness and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So this is dealing with the two siblings after the fact. So we will see if I like it. Hopefully I do. Probably won't read this till closer to February because it kind of gives me like the whole like Valentine's Day vibe, but also like sad. So who knows what I'm going to get out of it. I hope I like it. Next is a book I got at a used bookstore, and I have a bunch of this author's books up on my cozy shelf. My grandmother used to like her, and I came across this book. It was in great shape, so I bought it, and that is Red Velvet Cupcake Murder by Joanne Fluke. These are just a bunch of cozy murder mysteries. We follow a baker who gets herself in a lot of trouble throughout the series, and there's like kind of a love triangle like there is in most of these situational cozy mysteries. And this one's really cool. It's like a metallic-y cover, which I like. And also what's really cool about these books is throughout these books, there are actually like recipes throughout it. So not just the title. So this one will obviously have a red velvet cake and icing recipe, but there'll also be like other recipes throughout here. So like this one's oatmeal apple pancakes. So that's really cool. I really like that factor about it because I kind of like baking and stuff also. So those are hit me right where I'm in my comfort zone. So it makes it extra cozy for a cozy murder for me. The next book is like a horror. It just like goes from like cozy into horror. This one I got secondhand, and it is Scott Thomas, and it's Kill Creek. I've heard a lot of good things about this from the horror thriller community, and a lot of people really like this book. I have not read anything by this. It's, I believe people go and spend the night in a haunted house, and stuff happens. It's supposed to be like, they were called there to do this publicity stunt, stay in this haunted house, and then what happens to them there while they're there. So, I love it. The cover is ominous. Big fan. This book is a thriller-ish / cozy mystery. I believe I kind of talked, I hate myself with it. I believe I've kind of talked about it before. So some of these books you'll have seen before in my TBRs. I haven't gotten to this one yet. I wanted to at one point this summer, but it is Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies by Catherine Mack. And it is a signed copy, which is the stickers on there. I kind of want to remove it, but I don't because then I know it's signed. Signed by the author. This was I picked this one up at Indigo, I believe. And yeah, so it's an author who goes on vacation and she writes about these people, and it turns out that there's people similar or that are on this vacation property, and they start dying off when she kills off people in her book or something to that nature. I'm not 100% sure. I know the channel Books and Lala, she read this and really liked it, gave it like a really high rating for a cozy, thrillery kind of just a fun read. And so I'm here to read it because I think I would really like it. I just didn't get to it this summer, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get to it in the spring. Maybe it'll wait till next summer. I'm not sure. This one is... What else do we have here? Oh, yes, that one. One's for something else, so I won't show you that one right now. This one is Charlotte Iles is Not a Teacher. So this is a second book to the series Charlotte Iles is Not a Detective. This one was on a sale. I wasn't sure if it was a first or a second book. It really captivated me after reading it. Like, she's solving like almost like Nancy Drew style mysteries, that she actually was a childhood detective, apparently, like Nancy Drew style childhood detective. And now she's like a teacher or not a teacher. I'm not sure. Maybe she's like a class aide, but she's continuing on with that. So it's kind of like a cozy-esque. Gives me Finley Donovan is Killing It vibes, which I'm all here for. However, I do not have the first book in the series, so I will have to procure that before I read this one. I'm sure you can read them as standalones. A lot of cozies you can, but I would like to get the backstory on this lady, and her whole story about the childhood detective thing before I read this one. So, again, that's Charlotte Isles is Not a Detective by Kate Siegel. I finally found a copy of a manga that I've been wanting to read, you guys, and that is Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket Volume 1, and not the extended special edition, just Fruits Basket Volume 1. I'm here for it. I know nothing about it, just that it has a large following and it is very loved. And when I reached out to my friend Kim over at Bookshelf Bunny and asked about mangas, and I gave her some suggestions about what I was looking at, this one she said I should pick up because I would really like it, but also it's not 150 volumes. The other one I was looking at was One Piece, and there's so many volumes of One Piece, so I did not buy the first one because I don't know that I'm getting into 100 and some odd volumes of One Piece right at this moment. I will dabble in the Fruits Baskets, though. Next up, I hate that there's stickers all over this book. I just haven't taken them off yet, you guys, so ignore the stickers. I will get them off in a non-damaging way. But it's by one of my, a writer who I have multiple books and read multiple books from, and that is Matt Haig. And Matt Haig has a new novel out, and it's called The Life Impossible. Now, this is about our main character. She goes to an island that her friend had owned, and it is a deserted type of an island, and her friend passes away and leaves her this island, so she goes to see what was so enthralling about this island that her friend just lived on this secluded isle for. And I'm not sure about too much more, if there's thriller aspects or mystery aspects or what, but I'm here for it. Love Matt Haig's writing. If you guys haven't read The Midnight Library, that is a fantastic book. Also, Humans by Matt Haig is also good, but I'm hoping that this one's as good as Midnight Library. I really liked Midnight Library. Trigger warning on The Midnight Library. There's a lot of trigger warnings in that one. But his writing is fantastic. So I'm sure there's probably trigger warnings on this one too. That's just his calling card. So double check, obviously, before you go into them. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh, I have the third book in the Lovelight Farms quad book. The first book is right there, Lovelight Farms. I read it last year. I loved this book, you guys. It's about a lady who owns a tree farm, and a whole Christmassy event operation, and stuff is not going according to plan. So she enters a contest to get an influencer to come out and give her publicity and maybe win a cash prize to save the farm. However, she tells the influencer that she owns the farm with her fiance or whatever, but she doesn't have one. She's not even dating anybody. So she enlists her best friend, who stopped by for hot chocolate, to be her fiance for this trip that this lady's making there to save the farm. And of course he agrees because he's had feelings for her, and then the story progresses from there. You know that right off the hop. That's no spoiler. And then stuff ensues. The next books in the series follow other people in the town who you meet throughout the first book, and this one is the third book. I am getting the vibe that it's about one of the friends of the main character and the local police officer, but I'm not 100% sure. I think so there. I think maybe that's who it is. Yeah, it looks like that's who it is. I'm in love with the police officer's character in the first book, so I am totally here to get his backstory. And the covers on these just get me. This probably won't be read till the spring. I have In the Weeds is book 2 to read right away. I'm going to start it probably this week. And this one I will probably read in the spring. It's giving me spring vibes with all the spring flowers. So that's going to be on my list. Super glad I picked that one up. The next one was just a fun pickup. I saw it and I had to have it, and I was excited because it sounded hilarious, and we all like the king of fantasy, Brandon Sanderson, and I have never heard of this before. It's one of his surprise kind of books that he wrote, and it's Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. Apparently it's hilarious. It's about a guy who is a wizard who has no money and also his handbook has been destroyed and he's trying to survive medieval London or England. I read the back. I was intrigued. Sounds more cozy, fantasy vibes, and it's not a gigantic tome like the other Brandon Sanderson books are. And so I am here for it. And there's like little illustrations on the chapters with like little guidebook depictions. Let me see if I can find one for you guys. So the pages that he still has of the guidebook, he gets to piece them together to try to figure out how to get back to where he's from, etc. So I'm here for that. The next book I picked up with Kim over at Bookshelf Bunny, and we did do a buddy read on this book. You've seen it in my wrap-up video. I loved this book, you guys. It was just cozy. It was fantastic. The vibes between the main characters were awesome. And that is Fall into Temptation by Lucy Score. I believe it is also my first Lucy Score book. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is number one that I have read by Lucy Score. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But she's not an auto-buy author for me. But after reading this book, I really liked it. And I think I want to get more into her backlist. So I think I'll try another book of hers. But this one I really liked. And the characters I really liked. It's about a young lady, single mom. Her husband is like ex-husband is a touring rock and roll kind of celebrity. Or he thinks he is. And just can't commit to settling down with kids. So she is raising them on her own while owning a yoga studio in a small town and potentially falling for her landlord and also the mayor of the town. Add a bunch of friends, cozy drama, Gilmore Girls town vibes, and I am 100% here for this book. Okay, this one's a big one. I got this book. It's on my coffee table because we love the one and only Grady Hendrix on this channel. This is Paperbacks from Hell from Grady Hendrix. He analyzes all the horror novels that made a resurgence and like they just took off, in the like pocket paperback form from like Avon Books. All these publishers were like all putting out horror in the time of like Pet Sematary and like Satan's Love Child, etc. So these are just like entertaining quips about his love for these books and like how he fell in love with all these books, and there's just different sections on different genres of or different categories of the genre, if you will, and it's fantastic. So it's like a coffee table book. There's pictures of all the classic titles and books that he talks about, and it's just super awesome. I read the first one and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just have to read some more of this, and I think it'll just be like coffee table book every fall for me because I just really like it. Plus, I found a signed copy, and you guys, he actually signed this. This isn't one of those stick-in signatures because he made a little speech bubble and signed it, and it was still wet when they put it on the shelf or put it back because it smudged over here, and I could feel the difference in it's awesome. I'm so excited. This is like one of my crowning achievements is finding this book and finding it signed because this book isn't very common. So I was very excited. I found that when I was out with Kim over at Bookshelf Bunny. She has the copy also. Last time we went out, there was only one copy, and I told her she could have it. And this time we went out, and there was this copy, and we pulled it off the shelves. We realized it was signed, and I was super excited. So that was fantastic find, and I am so excited to have that on my shelf. Okay, the second last book is another cozy kind of fantasy vibe. I'm into those. And this one is How to Become Dark Lord and Die Trying. And apparently, if you keep dying trying to fight the dark power, you give up and you just try to become the Dark Lord. And it sounds hilarious, and I am here for it. It says that Davy has done this all before. She's tried to be the hero and take down the all-powerful Dark Lord 100 times. She's rallied humanity and made the final charge, but the time loop always gets her in the end. Sometimes she's killed quickly, sometimes it takes a while, but she's been defeated every time. This time, she's done being the hero. She's done being stuck in this endless time loop. If the Dark Lord always wins, then maybe that's who she needs to be. it's Davy's turn to play on the winning side. So she decides to say, forget it, I'm just going to be evil then. And see if I can survive longer than I do being good. And the last book on this list, I just picked it up when I was in Toronto for the Eras Tour. I went to a giant Indigo there, and I loved every second of it. I also found this book, and it was just like quirky looking and old school comic-y kind of looking, and I had the best time looking around that store, and I kept coming back to this book. So I'm like, you know what? I'll pick it up. It's kind of like cozy mystery-esque kind of vibe, and I love the comic look of it, and it's a Christmassy theme. So why not? And that is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. It is by Ally Carter, and New York Times bestselling author. So there's a Christmas tree. There's some like police tape around the Christmas tree as like decor, and I am here for it. It says Knives Out gets a rom-com twist in this rivals to lovers Christmas romance mystery from New York Times bestselling author Ally Carter. I'm here for it. Sounds like there's a bridge out and these two are stuck together and things start happening and they have to work together to solve the mystery. Maybe they have like a hate to love kind of relationship. So here for this book. I'm very excited to start this one. This is definitely going to be in my December TBR pile. So that is it, friends. That is the books that I've got in the fall. And up to last week, November, when did I buy this last one? 14th? 15th? And that's it for now. So I can now clean these up off my floor, put them on the shelves, finish my decorating, and enjoy my library and all the Christmassy goodness that is the library. And then obviously start a pile of newly acquired books, because I'm sure I will get some over the holiday season, and I will do a book haul for you guys once I have acquired said books and or gone to the Indigo Boxing Day sale. That's usually like half off all hardcovers. I don't love a hardcover book, you guys, but once a year when they do half off, it makes them cheaper than the paperback, and sometimes the book I want isn't available in paperback yet, so I wait and I get it then. And then I don't feel so bad buying a hardcover. That's usually way more expensive, even though I'm not the biggest fan. But I digress. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Please do not forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, and I will see you soon with some more content. I do have an Eras vlog coming, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Thank you, and see you soon with some more bookish content.